Jungle Boy Jack Perry has become a jungle man, and he has turned bad guy. I was trying not to say heels and faces because I'm not a wrestler, but I like to say bad guy. And he's turned on Hook. I sent you the video where there's a fan camera on YouTube, and he turns around and sort of goes bleh, and gives him a bit of a clothesline, and Hook stays down for like a minute and a half. But that was the turn, and then he comes out on Dynamite and gives a interview, a promo, explaining his actions. What did you think of it all?
Well, I didn't see the actual angle. You said you sent it to me?
Yeah. You didn't see it?
I didn't get it. I didn't see it.
Do you want to see it?
But anyway, we can.
It'd take too long to tee it up. Forget it. It was a clothesline.
Well, anyway, wrestling fans, they won't even look at that. They just think that he's just a bad guy now. But the interview wasn't bad. Jungle Boy showed more personality and more character in this interview than I've ever seen before. And he did it with the right guy. I'm going to have to give Tony Khan, if this is his idea or whose ever idea it was, I'd have to give him an A on the idea. Because now you got two guys, young guys, that will work their butts off every night, and they'll get this angle over. Because Jungle Boy needed an angle. He needed a promo. An angle he could get into. And Jungle Boy needed the same thing. Jungle Boy he was a babyface, and he was at a stage where he was like, he's just on this level, but he's really not going any higher. He's not going any lower either, but he's just
stagnant,
stuck on this level. Yes. And he needed something like this with a guy exactly like Hook, because Hook was in the same boat. They're both on that level, but there was nothing about them that made them stand out or stand apart from the other guys. And this will. So put them together and let's see what they can do. I'm kind of interested in this angle. I think these guys would do good with it.
Yeah, it's actually nice to see two young guys who I suspect are hungry to prove themselves, because that can really elevate them both if they just have their own little issue. And they've got something to prove to themselves as well as everybody watching.
Well, this puts them on a different plane. Now this makes them, they can join other guys. See, Jungle Boy can join the other heels. Now he will be not over, but he will, by osmosis, he will get some of their heat. And Hook, by the same token, he can go up with the baby faces and team up with them, which puts him on a higher level. So if both of them move up one level, that is an advancement. And all this does, when they build this body of work, now they get people invested in them. Now you can do a lot with them. So I'm going to say AEW, they did this one right. Maybe the angle leading into it, the clothesline, yeah, maybe that's suspect. But this is an angle that books itself, basically. Put them together, just take your time with it and see where it goes. Listen to those people, because they're the arbiters of whether this angle is going to get over or not. The response from the crowd, you listen to that, and they'll tell you exactly where to go. What you got to watch in this angle, though, is putting the cart ahead of the horses, because sometimes you get in too much of a hurry. Take your time. They got time anyway. How long has AEW been in business?
About getting towards 4 years now. But I was going to actually just jump in there. The one thing that AEW does that WWE doesn't, because it always used to be take your time. AEW takes too much time to never get anywhere. And then I think like Keith Lee and someone else has been in a feud for like a year, and they've just never done anything with it. They start something, and then they sort of just forget about it. I don't think that'll happen with this one, though.
No, I don't think they know where to go with Keith Lee. I mean, I'm not impressed by Keith Lee anyway. He's a big guy. But
he turned up looking like his own dad. You know, he was in WWE, and he looked like, dark hair, clean cut, and then he turns up in AEW like 2 years later. He's completely grey. He's put on another 50 pounds. It's amazing how quick he aged.
Who's his dad?
No, he's his own father, he looked like.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought you said. He looked like his dad. I'm saying, wait a minute, who's his dad? But no, I don't think they will have that problem with Jungle Boy and Hickey Doo, Majigger, Hook.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll add a couple more things. One, I thought, did you ever watch that 70s show?
Never watched it. Clips of it, maybe.
Right. Oh, right. Okay. So Jungle Boy looked just like Danny Masterson from that 70s show. You'll have to find a photo. I'll put it up on the screen, maybe, if I remember. And similarly, I thought Jungle Boy's interview on Dynamite was really WWE-esque in the sense that it was the old Stephanie McMahon line where she points at the crowd and goes, "I've done something bad because each and every one of you." He didn't quite say that, but it's that WWE 101 sort of turn on the crowd kind of interview.
Well, I kind of like that. I kind of like that interview because it's not you. Every great heel blames everybody else. He is always the victim. People are working against me. The office is working against me. This guy is working against me. And that justifies whatever he did, seemingly in his own head, except the people aren't agreeing with him. And when he blames the crowd, now he's blaming you personally for his own actions that you made him do. So I've always liked that they'll blame everybody else under the sun except themselves. So, and you've known people like that in real life.
Oh yeah, God, yeah.
They blame everybody else except the ones that should be blamed, and that's themselves. I kind of like that interview because hell, I've done a bunch of them. I always blame the fans. You. And then when we used to make this like the same towns over and over, you could actually attack the town, the sports teams in the towns, something that happened in the town that people they know about. So if you can centralize it down to that group, and it's what Jungle Boy did, you're the reason I did this. So I liked the interview. I really did. And I'm actually, out of all the things that AEW has done, I think this is the one I'm most invested in right now to see where they go with it.
Yeah, I think so. So this will be a very quick question, but did you see Bad Guy in Jungle Boy 1 or 2 years ago? Did you think he had it in him?
Well, I think he had it in him. I couldn't visualize how to do it. But then when I saw Hook, I think that I may not have thought, initially that, you should do it on Hook. But that's the best one they could have picked. Mm-hmm. Because Hook is like what they call a white meat baby face. And they can just eat him up and do. And I've said, I may have said here too, that whoever gets to Hook will be immediately over. Mm-hmm. Because the people want to. And the only thing about wrestling is, they want Jungle Boy to get his comeuppance. They want to see Hook give it back to Jungle Boy and just beat the shit out of him and leave him laying. And they'd be happy for about 20 seconds. Then they say, wait a minute. Now what? He's got back at him. So where do we go from here? That's why I was famous for this. Oh, I could beat my heel. That's easy because you get a pop out of the people. Now they're happy for about 20 seconds. Then I'd have the heels come back, and I may have to bring one from the outside, but we'd get that baby face down and he would pay for what he's done. And now you involve another person from both sides. Now you got a tag team, and you go from there. See, booking, people have asked me this, what do you got to be a booker? Well, nothing really, except maybe be in charge of putting wrestling matches together. But anybody can be a booker. Anybody. Okay. I say, okay, James, tonight, I want you to go in the ring and I want you to hit wrestler A in the head with a 2x4. Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. So we do it. Now we come back the second week. What are we going to do? Okay. The guy you hit in the head with a 2x4, wrestler A. I said, wrestler A, listen, I want you to go in the ring tonight and hit James in the head with a 2x4. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. But now if you think about it, we're back to where we were 2 weeks ago. We went back. So you have to know when to do certain things. Now, the most obvious thing now is week 2, when you go in the ring to hit him in the head with the 2x4, he runs. So now you want to see him get popped in the head. So that's what booking is. So if you can kind of don't give them the payoff too soon, and when you give them the payoff, you can immediately go into something else, or you can drop out of the angle for 2 weeks and then come back into it. give the people just enough time to forget it, but they didn't forget it. Remember, fans don't forget. And then the second week, he comes in and he does something. And why did he do it? Well, now we know this backstory, why he did it. That's the beauty to booking, and that's the secret of it.
Mm-hmm.